How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether prices going up or down. Our interests are aligned with the SEC, Coinbase CEO says. Brian Armstrong, CEO of cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase, said Wednesday that the company's interests run parallel with those of the SEC, the federal agency tasked with protecting investors in the U.S. Armstrong said that Coinbase, the only publicly traded cryptocurrency exchange in the U.S., has maintained a good relationship with various staff members and commissioners at the SEC, including meeting with the chairman, Gary Gensler, or as we know him as, the Green Goblin. Bringing the digital asset industry within the regulatory perimeter of the U.S. is in interest to both Coinbase and the SEC share, adding it would provide customers with better protections. Even so, Armstrong said that he wants to preserve the potential innovation that cryptocurrencies could provide to financial markets. There's just a bunch of previous information that doesn't really matter there. In this television appearance on Wednesday, Armstrong said that Coinbase's staking product is not a security and has many differences compared to the product offered by Kraken that the SEC went after. A fundamental aspect is that Coinbase customers do not turn over the ownership of their digital assets to Coinbase when engaging with the staking product. So, Coinbase doesn't ever take custody of your coins from you when you are staking them. They stay in your wallet, and when you stake them, they go onto the chain. Coinbase just helps act as the portal to the chain for you, and they take a cut, but they never actually hold on to the coins for you. They're always in the customer's possession, and we're really just providing a service that passes through those coins to help them participate in staking, which is a decentralized protocol, he said. When the SEC announced its charges against Kraken, Gensler released a video on Twitter outlining the agency's stance why staking as a service should come with the proper disclosures and safeguards that are required by law. Unless he tried to be funny, I wish I could pull this video, but when I click the website it just goes to a bunch of text. The Coinbase CEO acknowledged that the exchange has received investigative subpoenas from the SEC, but claimed they are just information requests. So, just because they're getting subpoenas, they're saying that doesn't mean they're having any charges brought up against them. It's really much, hey, how do you guys do this, and just trying to figure out how things comply and how different crypto companies are doing things. He also mentioned that the company seeks to have a productive relationship with the regulator regarding its staking product, but is also prepared to fight the agency if it must. We're prepared to defend that in court if we need to, but we're never looking for a fight. I think we're well within the law given the stance the SEC has been taking regarding defining certain assets as securities. Voyager clients vote 97% in favor of $1 billion restructuring plan. Sounds great, but I wouldn't get too excited yet. The bankrupt crypto broker Voyager Digital announced that 97% of its customers with account holder claims have voted in favor of the proposed restructuring plan that'll see Binance.US acquire the firm's assets for $1.02 billion. General unsecured claims have a lower priority, and many will not be paid until the account holder claims are paid in full. Voyager added that more information will follow after hearings scheduled for Thursday. That was today, or tomorrow, sorry. I'm off by a day. So hopefully tomorrow we can have a follow-up article. Voyager announced that Binance US, the American entity of Binance, had made the highest and best offer for its distressed assets with the approximate value of the deal of $1.022 billion. If the deal is executed, Voyager customers will only get 51% of their capital back. So you get a little over half. The deal will not be finalized until a court hearing on March 2nd though. So even if we do get some news tomorrow, it will not be finalized until that court hearing. There could be a few roadblocks to this, as for Binance US acquiring them, as there's many agencies that aren't too happy about this, including the SEC, the FTC, and a couple others, or the New York District Court. In a filing last week, the SEC said that it was formally investigating whether Voyager violated anti-fraud registration and other federal security laws. This website loves to jump around. The agency also claimed that Voyager did not sufficiently explain what safeguards have been established to ensure that customer assets are not transferred off the Binance US platform. The FTC, meanwhile, alleges that should the deal go through, it would unlawfully bar the company from being held accountable for actual fraud, willful misconduct, and gross negligence. In a separate filing, the New York Department of Financial Services said Voyager onboarded customers in New York, thus illegally operating without a license in the state. France moves ahead with tighter crypto rules for new entrants. French lawmakers have approved a set of stricter rules for crypto companies, which now only needs the approval of President Emmanuel Macron to be signed into law. Members of the country's National Assembly voted 109 to 71 to adopt the package of the European laws, which include an amendment proposing tighter requirements on new players looking to get into the French crypto market. Under the country's existing system, companies applying for a simple registration with local financial regulator, AMF, to operate, but could also opt for full licensing in a process that requires more disclosure, which no one has taken up. An initial proposal by French Senator Harvey Murray had sought to impose higher standards on all crypto firms in France, including those already registered. This was met with opposition, and a compromise was reached that withdraws the opinion of simple registration for new entrants to the market, but allows it for the existing market, people in the market, until the EU's landmark crypto regulations are brought into force, that is. This could be passed as soon as April this year, but the rules would not likely come into effect until 2026, so companies would have 3 years, otherwise they would have to follow those new entrant rules. So onto the charts. Alright, BTC. Let's see, we got a green candle. Pretty decent move, came up out of our triangle, and we're getting another green candle for tomorrow, even though we've pumped up and kind of pulled back a little bit. Our RSI is starting to curl up. Our stochastic's kind of just flat though, so our RSI is moving up even though our stochastic isn't giving it any strength. Tomorrow we could print a green dot. If we do get that green dot, we could set up a decent move to the upside as we peaked here in the bearish zone, and then we'd be moving right into the bullish zone. We would need that to confirm, but it would likely confirm after a couple days. Our VWAP is starting to pick up pretty nicely, and our money flow is staying pretty stable, so we're not really losing, not really gaining. It's more the lower time frames where we're kind of losing out. Over at the 4 hour, we are currently printing a green dot that could happen. That green dot could signal that we have a bullish run up, however they're not always indicative of that, as look at this one, did not play out. We had a bearish divergence that brought us down, however we came back up after it played out and bounced off the bottom of our value area low. So that is a good bounce. That is where you want to bounce from. So we have a pretty strong move, and we're bouncing right against our point of control, it looks like. If we break this point of control, then we could get a move up to our value area high, which would likely meet resistance around this 24k level before reaching this 24/7 area and possibly having more resistance there. Our stochastic is trying to curl on the 4 hour. Our RSI is trying to come up, but we have a lower high here, so that's a little concerning. We do have a green dot printing on the momentum wave, so even though it's kind of curling out, with that green dot, if it confirms, we could kind of curl up and move away. Our stochastic's starting to move up, but our money flow is just not getting over that zero line. We need that money flow to break over within the next candle or two would be preferable, as that give us strength to continue moving up. Otherwise we may see it just flop over and then we could start to lose out. If we look at the 2 hour to see what's kind of going on, our money flow did cross green, we crossed into the bullish, and we've been pretty decent since then. Didn't get an explosive move, but that's because on the 4 hour we're still kind of bearish on the money flow. Momentum is trying to print a green dot here on the 2 hour too, so the 2 and 4 hour are simultaneously trying to print green dots. VWAP's coming up, our money flow is coming up, so pretty decent signs. Stochastic has some strength and our RSI was curling down, however it's kind of flattening out and straightening up, trying to inch upwards, so if that can continue that move up and curl away from that bend, that'd be a positive sign, and we could possibly see that bleed into the 4 hour and carry us higher. Over at graph, we broke away from this triangle, it looks like. However, we could kind of drag it out, as now it's a little stronger, we have more wicks touching and more bodies. But if we break out of this, that would possibly be a decent sign. I don't know. Here we're kind of cutting a couple candles, so that's why here isn't the best, and that's why I'd be more willing to move it. Typically I wouldn't really move it just because you have better candle touches, better body touches, so it's overall a stronger line than that previous one. So we break out of this, obviously I'm not going to redraw that line, but we could form that bear flag again, or some other kind of pattern. Our RSI is somewhat trying to inch up, stochastic's heading up, so our RSI is gaining strength even though it's going nowhere. Daily we're trying to print that green dot too. VWAP's coming up, so things are possibly going to look pretty bullish if we can get these green dots to print in the next few hours and on the dailies. Over on the 4 hour, same setup here, green dot possibly printing, so could be some more bullish momentum incoming and we could break this pattern. Stochastic's really strong, about to make a bullish cross, so that could drag our RSI higher and maybe they'll pull that daily up. Our money flow is sort of like Bitcoin, a little lower, but we're just having issues getting across that neutral zone. Our VWAP curled up, however it's not coming up very strong yet. Our momentum is kind of heading up. We don't have a green dot here like we do on Bitcoin. That green dot just disappeared off the candle and we're pulling back. That's why you want to wait for things to confirm and watch the next candle after to see if the trend is actually going to make the move or not. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic's starting to cross. Money flow is somewhat starting to inch out, so could be a bearish sign as our VWAP is starting to kind of flop over too, and that could suggest that we may not make a move up and we could roll over here as that medium term is barely above that neutral zone. We had a green dot that printed and now we're starting to pull away from that. So if we don't get the momentum to bring that green dot back on the 4 hour and bring the bullishness back in, we may not look too good. If we flick back to Bitcoin, I bet we still have the green dot here on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's still alright for that right now, however you'll have to watch that. XRP over on the daily, we're still kind of falling here, very sloppily. Our money flow doesn't know what it wants to do. We had that green dot that brought us up today. So that is a positive sign that could give us some more upside. However, we're getting a little bit of a pullback. However, that's to be expected with that quick of a rise. So with the stochastic VWAP coming up and that green dot, we are looking pretty decent to keep moving up. Over on the 4 hour, our RSI is heading up, stochastic's pretty maxed out, so given our RSI it's all, our money flow is kind of just flat, our VWAP is kind of flat, and our momentum wave is starting to get a little bit round, so that's getting kind of concerning looking, as we could print a red dot soon and start to come down. Over on the 2 hour, our RSI is kind of just zigzagging around. Our VWAP tried to break bearish, came back above, and it looks like it's going to head back bearish. Our money flow is coming out on the 2 hour. So not looking the greatest right here right now. We could get a bit of a pullback. So the little bit of bullishness we have that on the daily, the 4 hour and 2 hour really are saying we may not get that happen. We may not have the follow through for it. Over on algo, we bounced off our point of control with a green candle. Our VWAP's trying to cross bullish. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe we can get a green dot to appear if we can get some more momentum here. Stochastic's trying to head up, but it's just kind of sideways slanted. RSI's just generally coming down, somewhat flat now. Right around that. Oh no. So yeah, we're not looking the most bullish, but we did get a bounce off our point of control, so that is a decent sign so far. We are getting a green dot on the 4 hour. Our money flow is trying to break above, just doesn't want to break above that neutral zone. Our VWAP has this little baby peak here, so maybe our VWAP can start to head up. Our stochastic's starting to come down, and our RSI is starting to come down, and we had a red X. So I'm not too hopeful. We did have a bullish divergence, but that didn't really give us too much play out right now. It is possible we could get some later, but we are getting some kind of goofy signals. We look at the 2 hours, see how the 4 hours doing. We are getting a green dot, so our momentum wave might just bounce off the neutral here, which would be a good sign. Stochastic's trying to make a bullish cross. Our RSI is coming down though. Our money flow generally is coming up, so our money flow looks alright, but it's struggling to get across that neutral zone. So we are putting a red X here too, so we could get some more downside. So hopefully that green dot can print, and then the money flow breaks with the VWAP on the 2 hour, and then we could possibly get some momentum. But if we reject here, then we could easily start to fall back down. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.